Yes, you should supplement with creatine as a vegan. It has been proved many a times to improve cognitive performance as well as athletic performance. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another video. This question specifically has been asked so many times, countless times on my social media. Basically, should I take creatine? Period. And then also the other question is, should I take creatine as a vegan? Now, before I get into anything else with creatine, I do want to mention that it is safe and beneficial for everyone, although I do have to say that if you are under 18 years old or if you have had injuries with your kidney or your liver in the past, then you should consult a physician before starting creatine. Now that all of that is out of the way, we can talk about creatine. I personally think that creatine is so beneficial. I've been using it for years. Let's see, I'm 24 now. I started using it when I was 15, so that's almost a decade of use of creatine, and I love it. I think it's great. I don't see huge, massive changes, but I definitely do see the improvement in my athletic performance, especially with creatine. Now, a little bit of scientific mumbo jumbo, but this serves a purpose. This is exactly how creatine works in your body. Basically, you have molecules in your body called adenosine triphosphate, ATP, to make it simple. Basically, there's an A, and then there's 3 P's attached to it. When that third P breaks off, that creates energy. That's how you make things happen. Entirely how energy is used in your human body. When that last P breaks off and creates energy and makes an action happen, it then has only 2 P's left instead of 3 P's. Now it's an ADP. It's adenosine diphosphate, so it has 2 P's, right? Now it's useless until it becomes an ATP again. That's where creatine comes in. I hope you guys are following this. I know it's a little bit confusing, but creatine is a C attached to a P, right? So it has this P right here next to it, and it will lend its extra P to those other P's. So it will create an ATP molecule again. It'll donate one of its phosphates to an ADP, an A diphosphate molecule, and it will create an AT triphosphate molecule again. Thus, you automatically have energy as soon as you're using it. This is your body's quickest, most effective, fastest, first go-to way of recreating energy for your body. That's the first energetic pathway. Then it uses other pathways to recreate energy that take much longer, but creatine can be there immediately for that little bit of extra gas in the tank. So what does that actually mean for you, right? Well, when you're exercising, whether it's weights or any other sort of exercise, but especially with weights, and especially because I come from a weightlifting background, when you lift weights, say you get to 8 reps with that weight usually, this can make it so that you can get an additional rep. It's not necessarily guaranteed that you're gonna make huge, massive strength gains and stuff, but when you fatigue, usually when you're not taking creatine, when you do start supplementing creatine, you will push a little bit longer. Your endurance will be a little bit longer until you completely fatigue. So in a bodybuilder's case, that means that if you're usually getting, 10 reps on that set, maybe you'll be able to get 11. Maybe throughout the entire workout for an hour, you were originally going to get 135 reps. Now you got 145, 150. Not a huge, massive difference, but over time that stacks up and it ends up building a lot better of a performance than you would have had without creatine. That same idea and principle can be applied to pretty much anything that you do in your life. Walking around and hiking and stuff like that, it's going to provide extra energy for you. Now, where does creatine actually come from? Well, creatine is actually created inside of our body in a very small amount. You can get it through foods that you ingest, but you'll never be able to ingest enough food to get the 5 grams of daily recommended creatine. I guess I sort of kind of just answered the next question that I was going to address, is how much creatine should you be taking per day? You should be taking 5 grams of it. That is the universally accepted dosage per day of creatine that you should intake. Okay, so now real quickly, I'm just going to run through the FAQs, the questions that are asked most commonly about creatine. Should I go through a loading phase of creatine? A lot of people tend to think that you should take 4 or 5 times the amount of daily dosage, and then it'll build up inside of your body, and then you can go back to a regular dosage. That is completely unnecessary. You don't have to worry about any sort of complicated loading schedules or anything. Literally, 5 grams of creatine a day. You can start whenever you want to. If you forget a dose, if you forget to take some creatine, that is completely fine. This question raises a lot of concern, and I totally understand this one. The question is, will I gain weight with creatine? I've heard that you put on weight. Well, the weight that you add from creatine is literally just extra weight that you get from having more water intracellularly. Basically what that means is that creatine tends to hold a tiny bit of water inside of your muscle, which is actually really a good thing, to be fair, because you're having a slightly larger presence to your muscle, so it looks great. But I just want to let you know that you do not gain any extra fat from creatine than you would or wouldn't have. The weight that you do gain, if you do gain weight, is just an ever so slight amount of water. And when you have put on that water weight from creatine, it won't increase more than that. You don't just continue gaining water and water. Maybe you as a person gain 2 pounds of water from taking creatine. That will be how much you gain, and that is it. You aren't going to continue gaining a pound after pound after pound after pound of water. You're just going to add 2 pounds. Whether you're taking it, you're going to be 2 pounds heavier, or you stop taking it, you're 2 pounds lighter. That is it. But it's water, and it does not make you look fatter. What's the best time to take creatine? Is there a special schedule, or is there a special food that you should eat it with? Honestly, it doesn't matter when you take creatine. You can take it throughout the day. You can drink it anytime that you want to. So I personally recommend that you take it at some time that reminds you to take it. So a lot of people, when you make your pre-workout or when you're about to go to the gym, it's just natural to think, oh, I should take some stuff, right? So that's a good time to implement it. Or if you're someone who likes to take all your supplements in the morning or at night, then do it with those supplements. And as far as eating something special with it, I personally have seen no differences with it. A lot of studies have gone up and down about it and whatnot. Basically, what we've come out to know is that it really doesn't matter. But if you do want to feel kind of extra ensured that you're intaking and receiving all the creatine that you are ingesting, then I would suggest taking it with some carbohydrates, any sort of big meal that you're going to have. Can you take it while dieting? You absolutely can take it while dieting. The problem with most people see with creatine when it comes to trying to lose weight is the idea that you will gain weight when you take creatine. Like I said in that earlier question, you're just going to gain as much water weight as your body decides to gain with creatine, and then that's it. That's the max. So when you're dieting and you're trying to lose weight, if you've been on creatine since you were bulking and now you decided to diet or whatever it is, you aren't going to change any weight with that creatine. You're still going to be whatever it is that you started dieting. You're still going to be losing the same amount of fat. No fat loss is hindered by creatine. The only difference is that you're holding a slight bit of water. And if that really bothers you, then just stop taking creatine, and maybe it might make you look a little bit more shredded. But to be fair, I really don't think. Finally, the last question that everybody always asks is, what's the best creatine to buy? There are so many brands out there. There are different types of creatine too. There's like creatine kinase, and there's EHP creatine, and there's creatine times 10, and there's like all these different types of creatine, but then there's also all these different brands of creatine. So what's the best one to get? It has been proven time and time again that it does not matter what type of creatine you take. The most basic and cheapest and bulkiest type of creatine, the creatine that you can buy in the largest amount while it's still being very cheap, is creatine monohydrate. There are quite a few other ones, but I'm telling you, creatine monohydrate is going to give you the most bang for your buck. And honestly, you can spend like $8 to $15 and be set for months and months and months on creatine. I'm telling you, this stuff is so cheap. If you do want a suggestion, because I know a lot of people have no clue where to start, I would use MyProtein. One, it's vegan certified. Most creatines are vegan because it's much cheaper to synthetically create it than take it out of meat. But I personally have used MyProtein creatine monohydrate forever. It's super cheap. They also come in different flavors or non-flavored. So whether you want to add it to like a shake or something, or you just want to take it pure and just knock it out of the park, that's the one that I use. It's very cheap. You can also use my discount code, so it'll get you like 15% off. The link is below the video right there, and it'll show you exactly how many servings are in the bag, as well as have a little scooper that will help you indicate exactly how much is 5 grams. Wow, I think we just did it. I think we just got through the topic of creatine. Hopefully you guys feel a little bit more informed on it. I think personally that for athletic performance and whatnot, I think creatine is excellent for anybody in general. I also think it's very beneficial, and I think you should take it because it is so damn cheap. You might as well. Why not, right? If you're a bit of a studier, a more of a scientific type of person like me, then I suggest you do a quick Google search because you will find so many studies that back it up. You can simply just search on Google about creatine, or if you want more of the actual case studies, punch in creatine PubMed, and it'll pop up all these great articles and all these great studies that they've done on it, and it is proven to work. All right, that is it for this video. I just wanted to drop this real quick because I've been getting so many questions about it, and I thought it'd be a great little piece of information. Hopefully it can help you, and hopefully it can help anybody that maybe might ask you the question. You can just refer them right on over this video, and I'll do all the talking for you. If you did like this video, make sure that you give it a thumbs up. Please let me know what you thought in the comments below. Make sure that you follow me on social media, Thick Solid Tight on Instagram, and if you're not subscribed to the channel already, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button. Team Beyond the Week, CT.